Girl, I'm confused.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, let's ask chat.
Tulu.
Tulu. Ah, Nama, Isa, Maria.
O nama isa Amna. Hanua lima ua.
So as you guys remember, we made our own language, our last podcast. So we have been practicing. It hasn't been that long, so we're still working on becoming fluent, but we're so excited to eventually work our way up to doing a podcast in our language with you all. And we hope that you want to learn it, and then we just make a whole new world with this beautiful language. So
Maybe a religion, an island, a cult one day. We just don't know how far we'll get to go with this, and we're really excited for you guys to join us.
stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Also, chat has developed the language incredibly. So the language has now surpassed our own brain's capacity to learn it, but it's there. So if anybody wants the link to the chat that teaches you the language, then let us know and we can put it in the chat or something, or in the comments or whatever. And you guys can learn the language and then you can teach us. We will hire one of you to be our personal tutor.
We called our language. We wanted it to be something cute and flowy, but also representative of the two creators. So it's Omli Mali. So
Omni Mali.
if you want to learn Omli Mali, then we look forward to sharing our beautiful language with you. And don't forget to also like, subscribe, comment, all those things that you're meant to do that we've never really told you until the last podcast to do. And engage with us, comment. We'll comment back. We love reading comments, no matter if they're love comments or hate comments.
Just
So
make sure to engage and boost our engagement.
boost our engagement. And yeah, you know what they say,
Wait,
all publicity is good publicity, no matter.
We're airing out our PR secrets.
So, but speaking of publicity,
Ooh, purr. What a
think
segue.
yeah, I think that's our topic for this podcast. We will be discussing stardom, what it means to be a star, everything that's related to that, and stardom and celebrities and being famous.
Celebrity culture, yeah.
Yeah, all of that, all of the good stuff. And yeah, I guess I have a question for you, Amna. Um,
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervy. Don't be nervous. But growing up, I guess, what was your first introduction to celebrities and stardom? And did you have any favorite celebrities?
So I'm 28 years old. So growing up was like the early 2000s, and I feel like paparazzi culture was pretty big at that time. I know it still happens now, but I think now it's a lot more like micro influencers hiring paparazzi to take pictures of them and stuff. Like, I don't think it's as real, and also like there's so much access to like pictures and behind the scenes of people's lives. But at the time growing up, paparazzi was this huge thing because celebrities still had that like air of mystery around them. Like, you just wanted to know everything you could because they were still just like this idolized star that you put on a pedestal, and you're like, remember, I would, like, love going through People magazine, and there'd be, like, the sections that are, like, stars, they're just like us, and it'd be, like, Justin Timberlake shopping, or it'd be, like, stupid stuff like that. And I remember I was, like, super into, like, Miley Cyrus was, like, so big for me for a while, because they were doing, like, so many paparazzi, videos and pictures and stuff of her, and I'd, like, binge watch them, and the Justin Bieber ones were funny too, and like Kanye has some funny ones. So it was a lot of like just looking at paparazzi videos and then going through People magazine and just being like, oh my god, the life of a star is so majestic. And they all lived in California, so I like wanted to move to California and be like a West Coast chica, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually crazy because I do think when you think of LA, all you think of is stars and famous people, and everyone goes to LA to get famous. Everyone goes to LA to, that's the American dream in a way, move to LA and become a star. And then you have that walk of fame as well.
Yeah.
It's really cool to hear that you, like many, just have LA ingrained in your system, in your body, that like, yep, LA is where you go, because there's also other places to become a star. But LA is LA is the number one place.
Do you think it's still like that now though? Well, first I also want to hear about like whether you were like obsessed with celebrities growing up or not, cuz maybe you weren't. And then yeah, do you think it's still like that? Cuz now I feel like there's a little bit of that, but it's also like you could live in like I was going to say Illinois, but Illinois is like the Chicago's there. Like Utah or something and still find an audience and stardom in a sense.
I I would say yes. I do think you can become a star anywhere now. I think now 100% you could grow up in Wyoming and have your niche and become a Wyoming star. But I have noticed that people are still moving to LA, or they're still visiting LA, which makes sense when you think that everything's there, the Grammys, the other ones. I don't know. I don't know how many
Oh,
awards.
yeah. Well, yeah, and maybe like yeah. Yeah.
So I and one of my brother went to high school with him. Shout out CB3 on Instagram. He's the one, you probably have come across his reels, but he recreates like high school shows side by side, or he'll play the high school musical in a funny scene, and then he'll do it with the wigs and the same outfits and everything. And my brother was like, oh yeah, I went to high school with him. And I was like, that's crazy. And he told me, yeah, you probably would get along with him. And I was like, yeah, because I'm also silly and goofy. But anyways, that's another another story. But even he, although he's from Plano, Texas, he still is traveling to LA pretty often. I'm not sure if he's moved there permanently. It looks like he's still filming in the Plano area, but he's moved there. I know that DaBaby has stayed based where he grew up in his hometown. I can't remember if it's Virginia or somewhere out there, but he also still visits LA. But I know that you're right. Some people are still able to have their stardom and have their fame without having to move to LA, but I do think they still visit it quite a bit.
Yeah, like it's still a hub for like opportunities and connections and meetings and whatever else. Do you remember that era where like a bunch of influencers would be like meetings all day, meetings, and everyone would be like, okay, like very cool. You loved a baby. Like
I
why
do.
do you love him so much?
I
He's pretty awesome, but that's funny.
Yeah, I know that he was canceled a couple of years ago.
What?
The comments will tell you. These are the people. Um, but yeah, back to your question that you had for me. I would say I don't really think I think I had phases and moments, but I never really grew up with that celebrity culture ingrained in me. And I would say that I had crushes. Like I had the biggest crush on Avin Jogia from Victorious. And if he ever listens to this,
Oh, I think I know the brown boy.
yeah,
Oh, yours.
I am not single, but I can be single for Avin.
No, you can take a break for
I can
Avin.
take a break. It's an agreement. My boyfriend and I have that one celebrity that we would like allow, and mine is Avin, and I think his is Dua Lipa, which I think is a waste.
Yeah, I'm like, sure, pop her in there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You can have that. Pick someone more. What if it's just someone really realistic? Like like partner's like, oh, you can have like one free card, and you're like, ooh, okay, that one doctor I work with every day. I'm just kidding. It's like someone super real, or like his friend or something. You're like, that one friend. Not in town that often, but can I have him?
but but yeah, I would say in middle school I would hate it on the girls who would fangirl and call themselves believers and was like Justin Bieber's like whatever, because I
Yeah.
wasn't really getting that, especially because I was like he's just a white boy who sings like who
Yeah.
cares?
That kind of looks like a lesbian, right? Like there was a literal lesbian at our school that looked like Justin Bieber, and I was like, she slays harder than Justin Bieber did.
Yeah, you're like there's one of him everywhere.
Yeah, like he's easy. Wait,
Yeah.
I believe that. Did you have a 1D phase?
I did, and I was just about to say high school. I was One Direction was diverse. Like
I mean, there was a brown. Okay, it was one brown boy and four white boys.
one of them was Irish.
No, super diverse. There was blondes, there was brunettes, there was one darker gentleman, somewhat white passing, Mr. Zane. That's so funny. But yeah, 1D. Okay. I was like, you had to have like a mega fan phase.
I did. I was a huge One Directioner, but that didn't start until what, 10th grade, probably when they became big, 2012 and stuff. So yeah, loved 1D. Finally came around Justin Bieber. Not that I loved him, but I was like, okay, fine. He makes some good songs. I can see why people would be believers, and especially because I had one friend who was high key toxic in high school and was kind of a bully. So she would bully me anytime I didn't like Justin Bieber, I said something negative, but then she would give me so much crap for liking Taylor Swift. And I was a Swiftie as well. But I was 14 and I grew up in Plano, Texas, and just all of her songs, I think her songs are perfect for teenagers, genuinely. I think that they hit the yearning and the wanting and all the like wanderlust that you see around you. Like I think she was good for that. So yeah, I will say that I had a bit of a phase in high school and I loved Mac Miller and I loved G-Eazy and I loved Sierra. Like I just loved a lot of people, but that was mostly, all of them are musicians. I never really felt a call for like actors or actresses or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And still, that was actual celebrities. They had to put in the work to become a celebrity and they had a talent. Whereas now, I think a lot of people are celebrities, but they don't have that talent.
Yeah, or I don't know that like anyone's like, no, I think there's still like a huge separation between a celebrity and an influencer vibe, or like an Instagram pop-in type of person versus a celebrity. Like I think like there hasn't been any new like, well, no, that's not even true. Like there are like, I was getting my hair done the other day and we were going through like lists like your favorite top people, like the girl that was doing my hair, her like boyfriend or whatever was there, and we were like, he was like, oh, I don't like Zendaya, so I was like, list some people, and he's a little bit younger, like he's 21, so he starts listing like Sade and who else, like, oh, Alicia Keys and about, and I'm like, these people are not your generation, like these are like older, who are like the new people, and he was like, there's no one new. So we started talking about it. And we're like, oh, I guess it's like Sydney Sweeney is like this newer generation's like Scarlett Johansson and like Maddie from Euphoria is like whatever, because for them they didn't like gain their recognition via like just being an Instagram like vlogger or something. They just gained their recognition through like industry growth, like through Hollywood, through whatever, if that makes sense. So I think that's like what separates like a celebrity versus like a like an influencer. But like I guess we think of like a certain level of fame as celebrity, but there's people that have millions of followers, but they got it through like being a YouTuber or whatever, and they are still famous. But like you don't, in my mind, I don't consider them like a celebrity because they're just like, they're because of their means of like recognition, I guess. Like,
No, I get what you're saying. And I think that also a really good indicator is, could you go anywhere and be recognized for celebrity
yeah,
status?
yeah, like everyone knows Justin Bieber. Everyone knows Justin Timberlake. No one's gonna like, well, maybe, because Justin Timberlake recently got his DUI or whatever, and like the cops didn't recognize him. So never mind. Actually, that specific thing is wrong. I was gonna say though, sorry, this is not a massive tangent, but it's related to what you're saying because you're talking about like 1D. I feel like you're growing up because I had a Maroon 5. Like honestly, I didn't have a 1D phase. I didn't have a Justin Bieber thing. I mean, I like Taylor Swift. The Taylor Swift that came out when we were in school was great. It was like the true walks past me. I think it's not like those songs hit like at the time, but I'm not a Swiftie. But Maroon 5 for whatever reason was like I got so into it. And I would sit there and like research like the band and how they started and every story, and I knew like his whole life story and like whatever. And I think a part of that like obsession at that age was like you said, it like fulfills that yearning, it fulfills that like I don't know, but it gives you like this weird sense of like community and this weird sense of like belonging, and then also like the yearning because they're like this like idolized thing. So I'm like that kind of, at least for a teenage girl, I don't know if teenage boys go through this, but as a teenage girl, I feel like it's a rite of passage to have like your huge crush that you're like totally obsessed with. Like it just felt so good to have that growing up. I was like that, and then like Heath Ledger was, oh my god, Heath Ledger was like everything to me. Love that.
Batman?
Huh?
Is that Batman?
No, he played the Joker, but it's like 10 Things I Hate About You and A Knight's Tale. He's just so cute. He's like my ideal. He's my true childhood crush. And he was an Aries, so I was always like, my baby. He's so cute and so pure.
Okay. Oh, I think I know now in 10 Things I Hate About You.
He kind of looks like the guy from the other guy. Here, I'm going to pull him up. He looks like the guy from 500 Days of Summer or whatever, too. Heath Ledger.
Oh, Joseph Gordon.
He's Australian. Oh my
yeah.
god, it looks like he's on the pod.
Oh my goodness, our second guest.
And then he starts balding at some point. We still love him though.
Did he
Like,
pass?
Yeah, he killed himself. Or he like died at 27 or something.
Oh.
He's so cute. Anyways.
But yeah, I also think that celebrities are also our football players and our basketball players. You know, I don't think that they get as much recognition as well because maybe they're not acting or they're not. But you know, LeBron James.
Oh, true. They're on the posters. They're
Michael
on
Jordan. Yeah, Kobe, you know, rest in peace. Like everyone.
Oh, right. I was like, wait, he died? Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah. So, and I'm maybe not every, I would say not everyone who is an actress or a basketball player, sports player is a star, but every star is in some type of field. And then and then like sometimes I just be saying things and I'm really trying to make it make sense. No, but like
Trying. I thought you were trying to do that thing where it's like every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. So you're like every star is or whatever. What did you say? You said every star is a celebrity.
I said, what did we have to play it back. I don't even remember.
I know, I need to play that.
I was trying to say that every actress, every football player, every someone is not necessarily a star. But
True.
every star falls under one of those categories. You're like a star is either not celebrity, an actress, an actor, a musician, a player. But then that's what separates them from influencers because not all influencers are in those fields. Not all influencers. Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. I think the way that just like the way that you said it made it seem like you were about to drop like a banger of a quote, and then it was just like a statement. But I was like ready for you to like blow my mind. Not every star is a star, but they all have a field. That was too good.
But yeah. So, anyways, influencers and micro influencers. So
Yeah.
so we're both saying that although they might have 1 million followers on social media, they might be able to make the same amount of income as maybe someone who's extra on a TV show. That doesn't necessarily make them famous and make them a celebrity.
Well, I think being a star slash celebrity is like I like that you said that not every actor, blah blah whatever, is a star because there are a lot of people that act, but there are only certain people that have that quality where like everyone's so drawn to them and they're like magnetic. Oh my God, sorry, biggest crush, Angelina Jolie. Like I was obsessed with Angelina Jolie growing up. My whole family was. We were all like, she's amazing. But yeah, like there's like certain people that have like a star quality. The only I think that still exists now, but I think the only difference is that, like, before it was more rare because you had less access to, like, people, you had less access to, the spotlight was hard to get under or to put yourself in that light. But now it's like anybody can pick up a camera and be consistent. And I mean, not everyone will blow up, but people blow up for so many different reasons to where it's like, so much more accessible to just everybody. So I don't know that it changes the value of it. Like before it was just like so much harder to be like that star or whatever. And now it's like a little bit more accessible, but I think it just changes what like fame I think is just like if you're a person that is seen by a lot of people as like you're famous, Like I don't because it's like you're known. Like I feel like famous is just being known, but it's not necessarily being like super like valued or chased or something. I don't know. It's like honestly when you think about celebrity culture, it's like really strange actually. I think now it's better than it was before because before it was a lot more like idolizing. And I don't know that maybe people do still do that. Maybe that's something you do more when you're younger. And now that we're older, we obviously don't idolize like other human beings, or at least for me, I don't. I'm like, oh, they're just a person. Like, I don't care. I'm more just jealous of their success and their drive and their like ability to accomplish the things that they set their minds to. But I'm not like, oh my God, they're this like person.
Yeah.
Or maybe I do. I don't know. But yeah, I just feel like it like a lot of people now, it's like when Vine became a thing and when the internet was like more accessible and everybody had their camera phones and whatever, it's like Vine made people famous just for like being normal, funny, stupid, whatever. And then like now there's so many different like niches of people, and there's people with like 10K followers that you'll find and you'll be like, oh, this person's so cool, to where if you saw them in public you'd be like, oh my God, and like whatever. So it's just different because now like everybody can be seen, but I don't know how that changes the culture of it, if that makes sense. I think there's still a huge separation between a true celebrity and a true star and someone who's just like popping on IG, or like I guess I like the term influencer because it just helps create a separation of like what, and I think it all comes down to like what you do, like what you provide. Like, are you an industry person or are you a self-made, like I run my YouTube, whatever brand deals person, whatever, right? Because that's a separation. If you go through like industry things and you're getting recognition by the big industry names, then I feel like you're more on the route to like celebrity. Like you're gonna be hanging out with Zendaya and you're gonna be like doing shoots for Vogue and you're gonna be doing stuff like that. If you're an influencer, you're more like, okay, you're getting a brand deal with Rocket Money and you're getting a brand deal with whatever, and like that's what you're doing. So it's like, and you can still cross that path, but I just don't think it's the same. I think that's like how to separate the two.
But then I also think back to what I was saying is that crossing that path, I think that to be a celebrity, you have to be in one of those fields for the most part. Because
Acting, sports, or what was the other one?
sports or movies, music,
Oh, singing, yeah.
because celebrities are known for something besides the
Yeah.
Kardashians.
Yeah.
They are a celebrity, but they are maybe the exception because they've become that way just from, I don't know. I don't really, from what?
I mean, from reality TV, I feel like they paved the way for like yeah, all of the reality TV stars and stuff, like where it's like just pure entertainment and like you said, moving away from true talent and just the talent is like being like publicity. The talent is publicity. Like that's what the Kardashians did. They knew how to play the game of getting attention and keeping people's attention and continuing to try to be interesting enough to gaining recognition. Like that's all that fame is. It's like because you're a recognized familiar face for whatever it is that you did, then people value you more and they're willing to pay for your face to go on a magazine or for you to be in a show because people are just like, we want more of this person. We want to see this person
Yeah,
more. Whatever.
no, 100%. I agree with that. And I think going back to true talent and pure talent, I would say that there's also a lot of celebrities who might not actually have pure talent, but because they have that charm or because the industry really pushed them, they were able to then gain that celebrity status. I feel like Ice Spice is such a good example.
Mm-hmm.
When she first came out, her songs weren't necessarily like mind breaking or wow, this is, or oh my gosh, she's a rapper and she's rapping differently than anyone else and there's so much creativity. I think that one could say, and I do love a few of her songs when they came out, they were catchy, but where was that talent, or was she able to just capture the hearts of everyone, capture mostly probably like teenagers, but then now she's a little bit like washed up from,
Yeah.
I'm noticing on social media, they're like, oh, Ice Spice tanked, or now all of her songs are talking about doo doo, and oh, come sit on me while I, like,
Yeah.
like,
Where she's probably still trying to captivate attention by being like shock factor or something. Because that is part of it too. It's I like completely agree that like you can be really talented, but like you said earlier, not have the like star quality where like you're just not interesting to people or like you're just like I get there's just so many different realms to it, but I just don't think that like fame or celebrity status or like whatever is really equivalent to talent or true passion or true creativity. I think that will always stand at like you can see I think like how seriously someone takes their craft and like also that's why like one hit wonders are such a thing because it's like if you can create a captivating thing, you can have the eye of it's like an attention thing, you know, like if you can captivate attention for and have your moment, that's not going to stay forever. And I think that if your journey and your path, like the people that are popping in my head are like Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, like J. Cole and stuff like that. Like people because I guess like I mean I'm sure there's other people now but I just don't do as much like research as I did but like when I was in college and stuff I remember writing about J. Cole and like really like learning his like path and journey towards getting to where he was and same with Kendrick and like Tyler the Creator like when you hear them talk about their actual craft it's not like they're just messing around. Like they take it really seriously. They're very passionate about it, and they're more in the like realm and space of like creativity and innovation and like what like it's just a different type of dedication. And I feel like with people like Ice Spice, like she's having fun and whatever, but it is like you get that one hit wonder, one hit wonder, one hit. Have you seen that reel where he's like, "What now? 2 hit wonder." And it's like, yeah, girl. But it's like you just get your moment, but you can get it again but it like comes from dedication to the craft because ultimately people connect with like really good music, really good art, really good whatever it is. So if you're just kind of you can like have that moment if that makes sense is like what I'm saying, but ultimately I think the people that maintain that status are people that are completely dedicated to their craft and to their skill set and to what they're doing on a deeper level than just like they're not doing it for fame. They're doing it because they're like passionate about what they're doing. And fame is a byproduct. And it could be something that they do want alongside it, but I think it's more like passion for the journey and passion for what they're doing than it is like, I just want to be famous. Because if you just want to be famous, then it's just about like gathering attention, and then it's like okay, but you have to hold people's attention. So you either have that's like what the Kardashians were, and that's why some of these Instagram people are the same way. It's like I'm thinking of like Tana Mojo. Like she just constantly is having to find like little publicity things to do to like hold people's attention, and she knows that, you know? So it's just different games, and then I think one's empty and one is more fulfilling to where you don't even care if you lost all that as long as you have your community that resonates with what you're creating. Like I think if Tyler the Creator like lost his fame but had his community of like diehard fans, like that's what he'd prefer anyways.
Yeah.
You know? Because what he's creating is like a piece of his soul or whatever. I'm not a huge Tyler the Creator fan, but I've just like seen a lot of interviews where he talks about like what he's creating, and it's just different. Like it's like people that come from passion versus people that come from just like wanting status and like fame and stuff, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I do think that there are a lot of stars out there who are like, I do this for the love of the game. And
Yeah.
that's all that matters. And that's a really good insight on that separation because I'm thinking of people who, like Mac Miller, he
Yeah.
was always creating a new sound for himself and he was always experimenting with different like beats and sounds and music. And I feel as though he was one of those artists where no matter like how big he was or how big he wasn't, depending on like I guess the audience, he was doing it for himself, and that's something that's really commendable that I do think, yeah, you're right, a lot of the big people have that.
Yeah, and I think it's like, I just think it's like the type of person. I don't know, because I feel like when I was younger, I was like very, very inspired. Like even when I had my Maroon 5 phase, like yes, it was having to do with like me loving the band, I guess, but it was really just me being obsessed with the story. Like I remember just reading so many stories about like how they started out, and like it was just a few friends like hanging out doing this thing, and then there was a story about like when he went to his first like I don't know, like recording gig or something, and 222 was the studio, and he went to the studio and then they popped off, and like it was just me being so interested about like people's journeys to getting what they want and like striving for that success and then like getting it, and like just the journey of it, because I like same with J. Cole and like so many other people, like I was just so intrigued by that. And I feel like there are people when you're like really genuinely like putting a part of yourself in what you're doing and sharing it with people, I just feel like that is such a different type of fame that it's not about being famous or being seen, it's about like being understood. And these people that put their like art out there and it's like true passion, it's like when people see it, it's not like, oh yay, people know who I am, I'm famous, whatever. It's more like I feel like a true part of my soul has been recognized, and it feels so good. Like, I don't know. So to me, I'm like, there's people out there that are like truly inspirational, and it's not about, like, they're not famous to be famous or anything like that. And that star quality maybe is their like authenticity, or maybe they're like, what they're sharing is truth to them. And they're not just like trying to see what's popping, trying to ride a wave, trying to do whatever, because they're focused on this end result of like, I just want to be popping like at some point or whatever. Like, I don't know. But that's just like what, because sometimes I think about it, I'm like, there's like superficial stardom where you're like, oh, I love that person because they're good in the movies, whatever, but you don't care about their story. And then there's some people that just like captivate you to where you're just like really like, they're like you said, Mac Miller, like you're just so into their story because they are just, like they share a piece of themselves and you feel very like attached to it. It feels like real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I really love. I love that type of like, I think that's an important thing to exist in the world, but I don't know if celebrity culture is fully.
So, do you think that there is some toxicity with celebrity culture?
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think like it's like bad to do that, or like, and how do you think it's like changed? Like celebrity culture, do you think the younger generation's still like, oh my god, or what?
I think they are. I'm very active on Twitter, and I would say right now I'm not in any. I've never really been in any fandom, but because I liked one or two tweets about Outer Banks, now my Twitter is a lot of Outer Banks, and there were these two stars who were just they basically had the best chemistry ever.
Which one? I watched Outer Banks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
JJ and whatever her name is on the show.
Matt,
Rudith?
whatever.
Hmm?
Wait, who's JJ? The psycho guy? With
The
the
blonde one that's always impulsive and is
yeah,
like,
yeah, the crazy, the wild
yeah.
card. Wait, him and who? Maddie or whatever?
Was that her real?
The light
Yeah,
skinned girl?
the light skin girl. Yeah.
I thought her name was Maddie on the show, but yeah, okay. Oh yeah, they did have good chemistry.
Yeah, I think in real life her name is Madison, and then the blonde girl um that John B dates,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
Maddie in real life. They have very similar names. It's a bit
Oh,
confusing because
okay.
she's Madeline Klein, and then Madison is the light skin girl.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember because when I first watched it, her and JB or whatever were dating in real life, and then they broke up, but they had to keep shooting, and it was like a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were actually able to make it work and do their thing, and it's fine, and it's still fine. But Rudith and Madison, people are speculating that things went down before, like behind the scenes or in real life. But basically, fans were shipping them in real life,
She's
and
lesbian. She has like a whole lesbian partner.
no, I know she's dating.
Oh,
I don't remember her name,
yeah,
but they're
like
saying.
what?
But she didn't start dating her until after they met. So fans are thinking that something went down before she met her. Which, the way that they're all acting, I'm kind of in agreement with the 14-year-olds.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? No, she has a girlfriend. Leave
She
her
has a
alone.
girlfriend, but maybe. So she might be bi. I don't know. I actually don't know if she's bi or lesbian, but if she's bi, then
Sorry.
potentially.
Uh,
Hmm?
sorry for assuming.
Oh, I don't know. I also don't know if she's like I'm lesbian, I've never liked guys, then this is all false. But like if she is potentially bi, then everyone's thinking that her and Rudith were had something going on. And then there's just some horrible ending and Rudith was in love with her and she couldn't return those feelings because she's like, I don't even like guys. Like I don't know what to tell you. So that's also probably a likely story. But long story short, the fans were shipping them so much. And I really started watching it last year, so I'm a couple of years behind. So I was reading all of it from the past few years, but fans shipped them so much that it apparently ruined their friendship. And they even talked about it, or Madison talked about it in a post, like you guys. And also, but I also think there's another thing. I also think that you have to be strong enough and powerful
Yeah.
in yourself to not let 14-year-olds and 13-year-old girls ruin whatever you have with anybody, no matter if it's platonic, romantic, or just business. And that's what they did. And so that's why all of this is speculation, but that's kind of why JJ left the show. So he's not returning for season 5 of Outer Banks. And the fans are really mad. And they're like, how come you couldn't just put your feelings aside like JB and the other girl? Like, how come you guys just couldn't do that? Because they were able to do that. So I think it's still very like alive and well. We probably just don't see it that much because we're pushing 30. So we don't have.
I'm like, are we just like we're out of that? Cause like, who's like 50 and still like celebrity, like sitting there being like, oh, Brad Pitt, like I just love Brad. Like it's like you just grow out of it. But I just feel like it's such a vibe for that age when you're a teenager and you like find your person that you're obsessed with or your group or whatever. It's such a vibe. I'm like rite of passage. Like everyone needs to do that. I just don't know how it works now, but I guess I'm like there's just so much. I'd be overwhelmed. I'd be like I have a crush on everybody and like I want to be with everybody. But no, that is crazy that they couldn't like push their feelings aside because I'm like, play into it. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like just play into it. And there's like a few YouTube people that I watch on a podcast and they like get shipped heavily, but the girl has a boyfriend and they literally just play into it for like fun because they
Yeah.
think it's funny. It's like you're really gonna let just random noise. It's just noise. You know what I mean? And I know that, I mean, we obviously can't speak on it because we don't know how overwhelming it is to like have something like that. And like, I pray never have to like do that. But it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I'm like, can't you just block people? It's like, again, that Tyler the Creator tweet where he's like, what's cyberbullying? Just turn the computer off. Like, and it's like, yeah, but I know it's just not that easy. Like, I know it's not that easy and it's probably really overwhelming, but with something like that, it's not even negative. You know, like, it's not like they're like, kill yourself and like sending death threats to your family. They're literally just like, like they're like, oh, you love each other, and he has to be like, no, I don't. But I guess like maybe he's in love with her and he just like can't. I don't know. He might be mentally unstable like he is on the show. What do you think about like? I think it's crazy that people get death threats over like Love Island. Like one of the seasons, one of the girls was like like so many people would get death threats off Love Island for like doing something that was like, okay, that's annoying, but like who is writing these death threats? Like I kind of am like super curious. I'm like, who is that? Like do you know how like monkey brain, like pea brain you have to be to watch a show and be like, die because they like annoyed you or did something stupid? Like
It's
what?
honestly, it's more common than you would think. My auntie is a little bit of a celebrity in her field. They call her the Beyonce of education.
Oh baby.
But with that, hmm?
I said, what a title. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, actually, but with that, and I won't like name her or anything, but she is speaking about like justice and joy and equity and education. But with that comes the like MAGA crew who are like, screw you, you should die. And like we're all Muslim, it's a Muslim family as well. So also like things about her and her religion, and she is high key not even actually famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's not even like millions of people, or I mean, I don't know, but like it's what, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And she's even getting death threats, and it's something as simple as educating the young people of America. But she's getting all of this hatred, and she's had to, and I don't want to, like, it's her story, so I don't want to speak on it too much, but she's had to also just limit what she posts on social media, what she's saying in schools, and also people have gone as far as to also go to her university where she teaches and write up angry letters about how she's spewing hatred and how she wants to uplift one community but not the other community, and none of that's true. She's saying we should uplift all communities. So like if my auntie who's doing something really amazing and she's focused on education can get like proper hate mail and death threats, then of course like anyone on a reality TV show where they're like opening themselves to millions and millions of an audience and haters and like crappy people, of course they're going to get death threats, and it's insane. It's actually insane and it's ridiculous. And no one, no matter if you're on a reality TV show or an educator or an influencer, no one should be getting death threats. But it's real. It's more common, I think, than we think it would ever be.
It's crazy. Like to me, it just blows my mind. But then I'm like, that's like when I think of my ideal life, I'm like, it is really crazy to like crave fame. Like I think when I was younger, like you put celebrities on a like kind of on a pedestal, but like to me, I'm like, it's horrendous. Like having a lot of people like see you or know you is actually a nightmare, and we should be wearing balaclavas for this pod. No, but seriously, because I'm like, it's actually just like who, like for me, I'm like, who wants to be known? Oh my god, we should have done it in like wigs and incognito. Because I mean, not that it matters, but it's just like one of those things where I'm like, there's actually no, like the ideal life is like living a super private life where nobody knows who you are and you're just really rich, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what do I hear? We just do it. We should have done it in like the full hijab with the and just like committed. I don't know how else to hide myself. But yeah,
We're about like 40-ish minutes into our podcast and we have
we
not
have not
had
used chat.
Yeah.
I literally started smiling while you were talking because I like thought about that, and then I was like, wow, we like forgot. Chat, do you think that death threats are cool? But okay, just to wrap that up, it's super messed up. If you are someone who sent that, I just assume you're mentally deranged. There's so many people in the world. I guess like 80% are mentally deranged, and there's a very slim amount that's like
Stable.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because
I
who's writing hate comments on Instagram like ugly, like you're ugly, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. And I feel as though that might be a whole other podcast, but the how people are able to just do what they want on social media because they're not being seen, and
Yeah.
everybody is masked. So it's like, who are you really when no one knows who you are?
Have you ever written a hate comment?
No.
Are you
Even
sure?
even I felt bad. Or,
You haven't spewed hate on Twitter?
no, I actually haven't. I even felt bad. Like that's why I put for whatever quotations around saying Ice Spice was washed up because I was
Uh,
like, I don't even want to talk about anyone like that, or especially not like Ice Spice, like and Barbie. I just want to party. Like I like her, I like her songs, but yeah, no, I've never said any hate. I do like clap back at people 100%. I'm not gonna let
yeah,
anyone.
like, but you've had like fights on. I think I've had a few fights on social media. I want to say, like, where you like comment something and then someone like, I've had hate, like randomly. I really have. Like, will randomly get just hateful things. Even on Twitter once. Remember, I like responded to something and someone was like, "This isn't for you." It was like, oh my, oh maybe okay, wait. I don't. It was like some girl posted a video on Twitter, and I was like, she looks like Kodak Black. It was not trying to be hateful. She genuinely looked like Kodak Black. And then some, like everyone went on. Do you remember this? And then
Yeah.
everyone was like, "This isn't for you." And I was like, "Girl can't comment. Like funny. Like I'm like, she looks like Kodak Black, and she's rapping. Like I'm like, that's crazy. Did Kodak Black put a wig on?" And then everyone was like so mad at me, and I was like, I was genuinely not even being mean. Twitter, I haven't had Twitter in so long now, but I'm like, oh my god, Twitter used to like straight up make my, like I would sit there by myself and just be crying, laughing. Like Twitter is such a hateful place, but it's so fun.
It's pretty fun. I love being on Twitter. I'm asking chat, if I were to be famous, what would I be famous for? Based off of what you know about me.
Okay, and then, oh, that's right, we had the idea of having it create a tabloid cover for me and Maria, like the podcast popped off and we get caught like at the club in Mykonos. Yeah, sorry, chat. We forgot about you today.
It's
Based on what
nothing
you know
fun.
about me. Huh?
It's nothing fun.
It's like you would be an educated woman. The thing is, like, honestly, yeah. I feel like having, again, maybe this is a byproduct of just getting older. I'm like, I feel like having enough, like, recognition within the things that you do. Like, I think it is hard to like feel like you're working really hard towards things and no one recognizes it or it's not being seen. Like that's a pretty hard thing if you, especially if you feel like you're really like pulling from deep within you to share something. Like I feel like that makes sense. But like to me, I'm like minor recognition from people you really value. Like I always think about that with like Instagram and stuff. I'm like, I don't care to have a lot of followers, but when someone you really love their work follows you, it feels so good to be like, oh my god, I love this person and they like liked my post or they commented on my art or they followed me or something and you actually really respect. So I'm like having recognition from people you really value. I think will always trump just having like general recognition because I think sometimes like to me it just seems like now certain numbers are like necessary for opportunities to arise in your life. So
Yeah.
when I look at it, I think about it more as numbers that you need to hit for like to prove that you're capable of captivating an audience so that people want to work with you. But actually having just like recognition or being seen by a bunch of randoms, like to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
no offense, not randoms. Like they're, but it's just so much better to kind of what I was
I
saying
get
earlier,
it.
have your true community. True
Yeah.
community, true connection is so much better.
Absolutely. I have the spiritual come up, and if you guys are interested in anything and all things spirituality, follow it at the spiritual come up on Instagram. And I'm on Twitter on my personal profile, and there's an astrologer and like she's a reader. She's pretty big. She was like, "I'm leaving Twitter. If you want, like go on my Instagram." So I followed her on the spiritual come up, and I wasn't expecting anything back, but she followed me back. And I was like, oh my goodness, like my page is legit enough for like an actual like famous in the world astrologer to follow me back on. And that felt really good. So I 100% get what you're saying because I
Yeah.
was like giggling all day, like hee hee hee. Now I have to post more on it.
Yeah, you're like, now I have to be active. Okay, so I asked chat, based off what you know about me, what type of star would I be? And it didn't understand the question and it thought I meant like a literal star. So it said you'd be a supernova star. It said, like a supernova, you go through cycles of deep reflection and transformation, burning brightly when inspired and pulling inwards when you need to recharge. So in the sky, I'm a supernova. You're
Okay.
driven by passion, creativity, and blah, 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 blah. Should I be like, what type of celebrity?
Yeah, because I asked it, what would I be famous for? And it told me, it said a few things, but I'll read the ones that seem most relevant. But one of them is podcasting and language creation.
For language creation is so good. They're like, you're a linguist, actually, so.
Let's Chat GPT could evolve into a huge podcast with a cult following, especially with your unique twist of integrating AI, relationships, spirituality, and a custom language, parentheses, Omli Molly.
The language, they're like, that is just gonna send you over the top. It is really beautiful, though, honestly. I could see them speaking it in just beautiful places. Beautiful
Yeah,
places.
absolutely. You could be famous for pioneering a new way of conceptualizing emotions and manifesting through language. We should add that.
Yeah, we should make it like a manifestation language where, yeah,
Yeah.
work on it.
And then it says dance and confidence coaching, and then nomadic wellness and self discovery guru. It says, I love remote places, meditation retreats, and deep self exploration. You could be famous for documenting your journey through unconventional wellness experiences, whether it's a book, a docuseries, or YouTube channel. And then it says, philosophical and cultural theorists. You have deep thoughts about identity, relationships, and purpose. If you ever wrote a book or started sharing your reflections more widely, you could end up being a leading voice in modern philosophy, especially around ambition, fulfillment, and the tension between creating and being at peace.
If you were to be a star, would you want to be like a fun star that's known for like being fun and like you get to go out with fun people and get your paparazzi shots at the club? Or would you rather be famous for like you wrote a book and like you're more famous in a like intelligence space and you get to go on podcasts and have these like educated conversations and people take you more seriously? Like, which would you rather?
I think maybe the intelligence, because people would respect and listen to what I had to say, and then I could still be like silly, goofy, go to the club and dance, and people would be like, oh my gosh, she's so well rounded. But then,
So both. You're like, actually, it would always be both.
yeah, with prioritizing the intelligence, because if it were the other way around and I was just like known for being like, oh my god, she twerks and she
Yeah.
like a hip hop dancer and all of that stuff, but then I was like, but also guys, like spirituality really means a lot to me. They'd be like, you're just trying to,
Like,
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah. What does
That
yours say?
I said, what would I be famous for? It said, you'd be famous for your artistic vision and creative storytelling, likely through photography, filmmaking, and brand collaborations, which is like, why are you boxing me into a brand person? I don't want a brand collaboration. I want to be like bigger than that. No, I'm just kidding. Your ability to capture raw emotion, beauty depth will set you apart. So basically, I'm a sought after creative director, visual artist, and cultural trendsetter. And then it says, beyond visuals, you will be known for your perspectives on life, relationships, self discovery through podcast, book, or YouTube channel. And what you share will resonate deeply with people. And then as you peak, you'd be recognized as a multidimensional creative force, blending art, philosophy, and personal experience to create something undeniably unique and unforgettable. So it wasn't really like that specific, but I mean, yeah. Like if I'd want to be known for something, it'd be like art. I think there's just like certain people where I'm like, I like their path. And it's always like being known for what you, like you said, being known for what you do and what you create and like for your like true talent versus just like being known to, like that sounds like a nightmare, just being known to be known. If anything, I'd constantly be anxious because I'd be like, I don't want my parents to like see and be disappointed in me. Or like, like there actually is so much like, I've had to think about that recently because I'm like, since we both had that like philosophy and self-discovery in our things, like truthfully when you think about it, it's like what is the deep, like if you have a deep desire, like when you're younger, let's say, to be famous or to be seen, where does that stem from? Like you obviously have a deep need for some sort of recognition or some sort of praise or some sort of something. So it's like, where is it truly coming from, and what do you think you're going to gain from having that? And like, is it really going to fulfill you to just have, I don't know, like it's just like an interesting thing to like actually really think about, like do you really want that, or do you, well, I don't know, like what do you think you will gain from it? Like anytime I feel like I'm chasing something or like in my head like craving something, I'm always like, why do I want it, you
Yeah.
know? Or like what do you think that you're gonna get from it? But yeah, I feel like a creative, like I don't know, like you start a clothing brand or you have a studio or you're at a gallery or something, that sounds really fun. But yeah, just anything outside of that sounds kind of like annoying. Where you're getting badgered, you know, like people that get badgered about their personal life, or like their people are like trying to I don't know, like stuff like that, where it's just like you can't live your life because you feel like everything's constantly being like watched or speculated, sounds so annoying. Because I'm like, even just as a person that just has the people you know in your life, that's already kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Like being like, oh, these are the expectations people have of me. These are da da da. Like you have to break through it. So it's like I can't imagine having so many people's opinions bombarding you to where you like need to take so much mental effort to truly clear out the noise and be like, what do I want? Who am I? What do I value? You know, instead of being like, well, this is what people are telling me or whatever. Um, what do you think about like Instagram? Like when did we have anything similar to like MySpace, Facebook? Was it like MySpace, Facebook, then Instagram and whatever? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because like what do you think about that now that we have like each personal person can have their Instagram? Do you think like everyone, I don't want to say it's becoming more narcissistic, but do you think everyone's like trying to create like these curated online versions of themselves more and stuff, or
I
is
do, and I think that it's really sad because I remember a time I remember a time where Instagram was just posting what you felt like it, posting in the moment, and it was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do me. But now everyone has a Finsta because their Finsta is their real self, where it's not curated and it's just posting whatever you want in that moment, like it was meant to be. But I think that stems from Instagram being a way to now make money.
yeah,
Genuinely. I think that's
yeah,
what it came from. So I think everybody now wants to make money online or make money without having to clock in anywhere. And so in order to make that money, you have to then build that following up. And then to build that following up, you have to curate a specific profile, one in a niche where you know people are going to be attracted to that, and then you're going to get either your brand deals, or you're going to start selling a product, or you're going to start affiliate marketing, or you're going to start, just something. So I think that's what it comes down from. But even then, I would say people who I don't feel like are here to, I do think there's a good mixture. I see people who don't really care for that, so they are still using Instagram as it was originally created. But
yeah.
I think people who don't really have an interest, or at least I don't know if they have an interest, but from what I'm seeing, they don't have that interest in becoming this curated, specialized Instagram to make money or build a following. They're still posting like they want that, or like they are, because of the pressure.
Yeah, like they still want to have like a nice Instagram, and especially now with like dating profiles and stuff, everyone's like, yeah, I get Instagram. Like it is just funny.
Yeah.
It's like just turned into like such a thing because I'm like, you know, I don't really have a personal Instagram. Like anytime I need that like rush of dopamine from, I don't know, people I know giving me attention, I just post on my story and then I'm like, okay, done for the day. But like a lot of like girlfriends that I have will always be like, you have to have an, like you have to start an Instagram. Like why aren't you? And I'm like, what do you gain? Like I honestly always ask, I'm like, what do you? Are people sending you money? Are you getting like 20 DMs from sexy men every day? Like what do I gain from? Like am I missing something? Like should I start one and start? Like am I gonna like all of a sudden like what am I gonna be a model? Am I gonna get a gig? Like I'm like I don't really get anything from it, so why would I do it? And then it's like it just, yeah, this pressure. You start this Instagram, you start posting pictures of yourself, you've got to what, keep it up. now I have to post a picture in a different, like, country. And I'm the type of person that's competitive. So I'm like, every month now I have to post one in Italy, one in Paris. Oh, this bitch was in Switzerland. I gotta go to Switzerland now and post pictures in Switzerland. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't get
Yeah.
it. It's just going to be, like, mentally exhausting. And then for what? Like, I don't know. It just seems like silly to me, but it is so funny because I have so many people that say that to me. They're like, why don't you have to? Why not? And I'm like, and then I go on their profiles and I'm like, okay, like, it's cute, but, like, it's not like you have a million followers. I'm just like, tell me the benefits. What have you
Yeah.
benefited? Guys liking your photo, is that what I'm supposed to be making an Instagram for, so I can post a pretty picture and have lame people that I don't talk, or just random men liking my photo, and that's what they're like, oh, the highs. Oh yeah, a thrill. That's a thrill. I'll just walk down the street. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's just like confusing to me, but I also hate being this type of person though, because I'm like, God, it's just like so annoying, you know? It gives like I'm trying to think of like the equivalent when we were growing up, but it gives very like, you know, like, I don't get on my phone and like, I don't, but I'm like, I really do want to turn into that person because I'm like, I just hate over engaging in things that feel so superficial and fake sometimes. Like, I'm just like, ugh, I just want to like be an animal that lives in the wild and just like lives as day-to-day life. Like, sometimes I have days where I'm like, I've lived online today and I haven't lived in my life. Like, I hate spending days on my phone. It's just like annoying. I had a question that I was gonna ask you, but now it like slipped my mind.
That's all right. Should we make our tabloids?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, okay, wait, but I do want to talk about this. Did you ever read about like the metaverse stuff when it first came out?
The like, is that with the NFTs?
No, it was like, so I don't know if you've ever watched this, but there's a movie called Surrogates, and the whole concept of it is that like you get this like fake body and then you put on, I don't remember if it was like your fake body goes into the world or you put on these goggles and then you have your avatar and you live in this world. And I remember fully spiraling in my apartment in Dallas because I was like, this is the future of our world. Because think about how much augmented reality is a thing now, and like VR, and how much like people, like we said, are creating their personas on Instagram. And I'm like, eventually, like, it's a whole, like, you exist, like a whole version of you exists in this reality, in this like reality on your phone or whatever. So I remember spiraling because the metaverse was basically like Facebook starting to sell real estate in the metaverse, which is like this
Yeah.
like whatever virtual reality space. And I was like, that actually is crazy because that is so real that like we create that and then you start to just clock in and you don't even have to live in the real world. You get to just like go and talk to people and engage in this like internet world, and then you can use your money to buy cooler things, whatever, and like have this whole other reality where, you know, it's like the living in a simulation thing is just so real.
Yeah.
Such a spiral.
And I feel like celebrities are very much into the metaverse.
Do you think?
No, I was just trying to bring it back to
It's
celebrities.
trying to just wrap it back. No, but it is relevant. Okay, so how are you gonna do this? Are you gonna input pictures of us?
Yeah.
And
Oh, you want to do it individually?
no, I want to do it together.
Oh my
I'm
gosh. Okay.
gonna give it reference photos.
Paparazzi. Can you give me what it's called, a paparazzi tabloid?
Give me like, yeah, create a like,
Let me create.
I don't know what it's called, like a bad tab or like oh my god, I literally said I need pictures of me and Maria, and it's like a whole album of just us. I don't know what picture to use though. These are not good.
It's probably going to relate it back to the podcast.
Yeah, it should be related to the podcast. Here, I'll
Oh,
use.
yeah. Where are my photos of us?
It literally created a album. Use this as reference and create a tabloid cover, a dramatic tabloid cover for me and Maria after our podcast has blown up and we get caught out. I'm just kidding. I'll just say that and see what it comes up with. I'll create a dramatic, eye-catching tabloid cover featuring you and Maria after your podcast has skyrocketed. Expect bold headlines, striking visual. Honestly, the ChatGPT feature where it creates stuff is like pretty bad.
I have the picture when we were in Greece
Oh, which one?
where you're like bloated. And more like annual picture of the baby.
Ah! Oh, where we both were like in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I get so bloated so bad. The same thing happened when I was in like Vail. Literally, I was so bloated the whole time because I had cheese on accident, and I was like, I look pregnant. Oh my god, it did such a bad job. Like, you're gonna be shocked. So I sent it this picture that I had from us at your sister's birthday or whatever.
Oh, cute. Okay.
Do you want to see what it came up with?
Yeah, because I'm like trying to select a few pictures of us. Who are those white women?
Wait, okay, I might have to take the background off because you can't see, but it says, I know, I'm like, what? And then it says how Amna and Maria conquered the internet, but conquered is spelled wrong. Everything. And this is so, no, the feature is so bad. I'm gonna be like, use our, oh, maybe I'll give it our Let's Chat GPT cartoon since it doesn't seem like it can create realistic photos. I don't think I know how to prompt it properly, but.
I'm still looking for pictures of us. I couldn't search us.
Why don't you have pictures of us like ready to go? Like, yeah, I'll just have it use this. Make it one of
Okay, I'm gonna do
those
the same pictures then.
tabloid.
Okay, add.
Like, what are those called? Those tabloids that are like caught out and about or something. I mean, I just don't trust that chat will be capable to do this, to be completely
It might be a bit advanced, but let's see. Okay, I put pictures in. I asked it to do the same thing. Here's a fun and over-the-top tabloid style headline, but it didn't give me a picture. Okay, but I'll read the headline. Wild nights and secret schemes. Maria and Amna caught in a scandal. London, Ibiza, and beyond, the dynamic duo known for their glamorous outings and carefree lifestyle have been making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Oh no.
First
Oh, but that does
spotted.
make us.
It does. And I put the one.
I
Oh
can't. We take the background off because I can't.
Oh, it's a selfie when we were on that boat.
Oh, okay.
First spotted on a luxurious boat trip, the two looked like they didn't have a care in the world. Were they celebrating or was this just the calm before the storm? Next,
No, we were calm on that boat. We had given up.
next, cameras caught them in a dimly lit restroom, suspiciously giddy. Or something more. Sources claim whispers of a secret business venture that may not be entirely legal. Like smuggling? Trafficking?
Hopefully not.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And finally, the most damning evidence. Stumbling out of a high profile event dressed to kill. That's the pictures of the birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Kill, but looking guilty as sin. What were they up to? In eyewitness reports, they were laughing like they got away with something.
Oh, okay. I hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, with rumors.
Not as creative as you think, you know? What?
With rumors swirling around mysterious investments, an exclusive underground club, and a baby in the picture.
Okay, did you put the pregnancy pics up? That's my god, someone's
But whose is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, that was really bad, chat.
Look
So
at the picture. I put in new pictures and it sent this. I'm like, what the heck? But I want to show you this super ridiculous. Look at that. Like, that's randomly on the magazine. It's really stupid.
who's that supposed to be?
Not us. I don't know. And I literally gave it our like let's chat photos. I'm like, okay, fine, use these. No, it's really bad at creating visuals, I've noticed.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, you've let us down. It's okay because chat's not always going to be perfect, and that's what we're here to show you guys. Don't depend your life on chat.
That's why we still love it, because some things are not perfect and you just love it anyways, because life isn't perfect unless you're manifesting.
Maria betrays Amna, the podcast scandal. Except the pictures it used are, again, two white girls.
Chat.
And then this, wild nights and fallouts. Look at the face.
Well, we did have that one wild. Okay, I think
What?
we will dedicate a podcast to our Italy and our speed dating night in London.
Oh, and our fights? We can. What if it's resparks, the podcast ends? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm super down to share that. Yeah, maybe we'll have a travel episode where we talk about our favorite travel stories and stuff. But yeah, that was our episode where we kind of discussed stardom. We were both just feeling curious about how the internet has changed celebrity culture and how YouTube and TikTok and Vine and all of these things have created these endless opportunities for people to build communities and to be seen and to feel like a celebrity, I guess. But yeah, we just wanted to explore that and have a little bit of fun with the tabloids, which we didn't get to have, but maybe we'll create one that we think is funny and then we'll do that. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We love to chit chat about these fun topics with you gues.
Yeah, Lou.
Lou is Lou by. Right?
Yeah, Lou's bye.
Lou.
Lou.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Okay, cool.